Welcome to Playful Minds development vlog for Minion Keeper, a dungeon keeper game. My name is Darren, and I'm going to outline today how we got started making this game. So we'll look at our goals, the weaknesses of our company, our strengths. We talk about how we eliminated our difficult genres, and we narrowed it down to three choices. So let's get started. First, our goal. We wanted to build something fun. We didn't have to be new or unique. But really, we wanted something to do a twist on an old idea. New is really, really hard, if not impossible. So we sat down, we identified the games we love, we went through and talked about our favorites, our top 10, so to speak. We also wanted to build something that we could work on for a long time, not something we would just build and then go on to the next project. We wanted to be able to put in features and keep extending the game, so something with a lot of depth. We wanted it to be more hardcore than casual, so not like a word or gem game. We also wanted to incorporate a lot of the reward systems of the mobile world. Mobile games can be quite addictive with their chimes and the constant reminders to come back and play. Obviously, with a PC type game, it won't be as metered of a reward as mobile, but still in game we wanted to have a lot of RPG level up elements. The game has to be rewarding. And personally, I wanted to take on the challenge of doing level design. So every team has their weaknesses, and I think it's important to understand your weaknesses, identify them, and try to mitigate them and overcome them because some weaknesses can destroy a company very easily. The first weakness we have is we're a small company. So, like probably half the developers out there or more, we couldn't develop an MMO. It's just too big of a project. It would never get done. We'd get some network stuff done, and then it would just die on the vine like thousands and thousands of others games out there. The next thing is we're perfectionists, meaning that if there's something nagging us about the game, something that's not perfect, not right, we will actually lose all of our motivation. So, one of the things we have to plan for is to push through that problem and fix it, get it right, and move forward. And we also have to rely on your feedback to understand, is this really a problem or is this just a problem for us? There are no perfect games out there. Ours doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be good to great. Another weakness is my own, which is I'm a team guy, meaning I like to have meetings, talk to people, vocalize everything that's going on. My lead architect, Robert, is more of a I want to be quiet and just get it done. Even Miho, our artist, is, just send me an email and I'm going to get it done. So, my personal challenge is to just stay focused and be patient and enjoy those opportunities when we get to really sit down and talk about the game. While we have our weaknesses, we also have our strengths. Robert is a extraordinary coder and great architect. He has huge experience in real world as well as working for Electronic Arts. I'm a decent designer with huge game knowledge. I play everything, probably too much. I don't sleep much, so I game a lot. And I just spend free time designing systems, and I have probably about 20 or 30 different game design documents going at once. Another strength is that we're very motivated. We're having fun. When building a game, there's so much to do. Sometimes it's okay just to sit back and do the things that are really interesting to you. Explore a system, explore interaction between the UI and the player. We are also drama free. I know you've all been in the real world and understand how important that is, but we don't argue about things. I will never tell Robert how the best way to implement the code, and I can focus on gameplay. So it's a great synergy. Next, we looked at elimination. I've already mentioned that MMOs were out. We had to find something that had low art and sound requirements. 3D adds a boatload of art requirements and time. It also didn't really meet our artist skill set, so it had to be 2D. From a business side of thing, we also wanted to make something that wasn't saturated, i.e., another MOBA or Gym or Word or Battle Royale. Network was a big discussion for a while. As players, we love and sometimes love to hate the social aspects of gaming. I've met lifelong friends in MMOs. Players can also be better than any AI. However, in the end, we decided it was just too much work and cost to ramp up to do it. Single player was best for our version 1, although network is a great idea for perhaps version 2. Mobile. I would say I don't hate mobile games, but marketing mobile games is insanely hard. There's so many that are released every day, you're just lost in the shuffle. Mobile games are still growing in popularity, but there's a lot of pirating, and the complexity of those games is really actually just as hard as a PC based game, maybe even harder given all the different platforms. Regardless, we did not eliminate mobile games. So we decided to narrow it down to three. We got down to three designs. Robert had a prototype of a mobile web game. Funny enough, it was a dungeon keeper genre. I'd gone off a year before and done a prototype of a single player dungeon keeper type. And then I had another design, technically multiple designs, for a space game that absolutely needs to get made someday. This stage actually took quite a bit of time, 2 or 3 weeks, as we went through the different games. I, of course, played Robert's prototype, and then he gave me a couple of mobile games to play that had inspired him. It was pretty cool because I hadn't played them before. One of them I'm still playing today. I spent quite a bit of time outlining Google Docs of a workable version of Robert's prototype and the inspiration. I'm not going to say what it is because we still may make it. We asked ourselves a couple questions. Can we make it in a reasonable time? Yep. Do we want to make it? At first, I was a little hesitant about the mobile game, but the more I played the inspiration for the game, the more I saw the possibilities. Was it a game that we wanted to work on for a few years? The answer was challenging. For me as a designer, it was more of a data science game. Let's call it what it is. Most mobile games are manipulation games that meter out rewards and challenges. They are less game strategy focused and more reward focused. Clash of Clans does have a bit of strategy, but most mobile games are really light strategically. Intellectually, it would be interesting for me, but I wouldn't call it a passion. Oh, cool, I have 60 gems flying in 20 different directions is better than 15 gold coins jingling. There's also a bit of begging aspect to these genres. Personally, I like to buy a game, sure, typical Steam sale, then play it as much as I want. Implementing a microtransaction system seemed rather difficult and time consuming. The last questions we asked ourselves is would we want to continue working on it for 2 years? Would it still have that same interest? Would we be adding new things or would it just be UI ads? And the answer was probably no at this point. Next, we looked at the space game. We asked ourselves the same questions. Can we make it in a reasonable amount of time? It was very difficult for us to be honest with ourselves. We really wanted just to lie to ourselves and say, hey, we can get this done. The scope is not too big. It was multiplayer light. It was networking. It had inventory. But the reality is, it was a huge piece of work and it had very complex systems. Do we want to make it? Absolutely. This game needs to be made. It's a genre buster, but not sure if we could do it now. Is it something we could work on for years? Absolutely. We could grow and keep building. But sadly, just too big, and it had feature creep written all over it. So we decided that even with our artistic talents, we probably couldn't knock it out in a reasonable amount of time. Finally, we looked at Dungeon Keeper. Can we make it? Yeah, my prototype was actually quite far along. I'd gotten a full level done. And it was awesome that Robert had built a web version of it. It was 2D, so the art requirements wouldn't kill us. And there wouldn't be too much feature creep. We both knew that the last 10% of the game is about 50% of the work, but still we were comfortable that we could knock it out. we asked ourselves, do we want to make it? And the answer was hell yeah. Dungeon Keeper was a genre of breakers that just amazed us. Did it have issues? Sure. But the voice, the play, the humor, all very motivating. Could we work on it for years? Could we keep extending it? Absolutely. We saw many opportunities for downloadable content and extensions. So that was our answer, Minion Keeper. We really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Please hit subscribe or leave a comment below, and we'll be coming out with more videos every month. Thank you.